It was autumn in Luxembourg, and the trees were just starting to become a mix of green, yellow, and orange. My first week in the country was very intense, and I barely had time to enjoy anything. I spent most of the time trying to find a place to rent, booking visits, making calls, and sending documents. I heard a lot of no's in the process, and that was my first lesson as an immigrant. The housing market here is completely different. In Brazil, usually you visit the place first. If you like, you provide the documents, and if approved, the place is yours. But in Luxembourg, it's completely different. Each landlord is looking for a specific profile, and they gather the documents from multiple people or families until they decide who they want to rent the place for. And there's also many more people looking for places to live because there is a limited number of places. Sometimes you must send the documents before scheduling a visit. If they don't like what they see, you cannot even visit the place. They check whether you have children, pets, if you are married or not, if both are working or not, and so on. Despite all the difficulties, at the end of my first week here, I finally got a yes and I signed the rent contract. Problem was, I could only move on December. I had 3 days before having to leave the hostel where I was staying, so I just booked an Airbnb last minute. Staying in a hostel for a short period of time when you are traveling can be fun. It's a very nice place for you to meet people and make new friends, or just have company to do things in the city. But at the same time, I had to share my room with five other people, five other girls every night. And that meant that there was always someone coming in and out, sometimes in the middle of the night, which made very difficult to sleep and keep a routine. But it was good for the first few days because I had free breakfast and there was a restaurant with affordable meals, so I could just uh, eat whenever I needed, and I didn't have to worry about meals. At the end of my stay, I moved to the Airbnb, which was a nice house in a very quiet neighborhood. Until the end of October, I stayed in the last floor of this house, where they had a big room with a wardrobe, a toilet just for myself, and this small kitchen with the green countertop, which I loved. And I really loved to sit in this kitchen, make a tea for myself, and simply enjoy the sun coming through the window in the ceiling. Now that I was settled, I felt like I could finally relax and start exploring Luxembourg. The first place outside of Luxembourg that I decided to visit was Vianden. Very cliche because it's a small village and very touristic, and it was not my first time going there. I had been there before in 2022 when I came with my sister and boyfriend to visit Luxembourg and to finish our citizenship process. The typical things that people do in Viande is to go visit the castle, of course, and to go for a ride on the chairlift, which we all did. And we ended up going to a small cafe at the top of the mountain and eating some very delicious sweets. This time I went to a nut fair, which is a traditional fair that they have every year in October, and they sell a variety of products made of nuts. Even though I could find very empty streets in the village, the main streets where the fair was happening was pretty full, and at some points it was almost impossible to walk, and the bus was also very crowded when I went there. On other weekends, I did some easy hikes in the municipal forest in Luxembourg, which is called Bambesh or Bambouche. I'm not quite sure of the pronunciation. And I also explored some other smallest forests which are very close to my neighborhood. Sometimes, when I had to go buy groceries, I was spending 1 or 2 hours before at the Ban de Gaspésie, which is one of the biggest parks in Luxembourg. It is a slightly new park and the trees are still growing, but there are many places where you can sit and enjoy the rare days of sun that we get during autumn. The park also has an open air gym and a playground for kids. Going to parks became sort of a hobby for me during fall. I simply enjoyed going there, sitting somewhere, and preparing some tea with the hot water that I brought, and eating something delicious, something sweet. It was just a very pleasant moment for me, just to be quiet and absorb all the beauty that was around me, and something that was a bit new to me. Not that we don't have fall in Brazil, we do have, but the specific region where I was living, I didn't see much of a change in the seasons. When I wanted to be in a place like this, I usually had to travel. During my vacations, I had to go somewhere which was closer to mountains, or somewhere with a different climate. Because Where I was living, it was pretty much two seasons. I make jokes about it, saying that weather there for me was either hot or too hot. Soon, my first day of work came, and I had to adapt to a new routine one more time. Waking up earlier, planning my meals, meeting people, and learning many new things. I realized very soon that going to a hairdresser would be very expensive here. So, why not try to dye my hair myself? As I never did this before, the result was far away from what I expected. I bought not enough product and I did a very bad job at spreading it in the hair. I also don't know much about how to pick the right color, so the result was an almost black hair, not what I intended at all, mixed with highlights of the old color. But it's okay, this will get better with time, I hope. In November, I moved my belongings to the second floor of the house because I have rented a room that was much cheaper and started sharing the common areas like the kitchen and the toilet with other people in the house. The room had this big window with a view to a garden that I loved to look at after waking up. But sharing the common areas on the other side was not so pleasant. I'm not in my 20s anymore, and I've been living in my own place for more than a decade. So I'm not used to sharing space with so many people anymore. Anyways, the weather was getting colder and the days started to get dark around 4 p.m. People started talking about the forecast and that we could have snow in the next few days. I got really excited about it because I had never seen snow before. But at the end, the forecast was wrong and the snow didn't come. And then, one day, this beautiful and thin white layer covering the city. It really felt like I was in a dream. I know it might sound stupid for people who had just grown seeing snow, and when you think about it, it's just like a frozen water. But the thing is, I have never seen this before. I grew up watching these Christmas movies with snow, while in Brazil it's summer and freaking hot. So for me, it was like I was finally living the life that I saw in the movies. The world was so clear and white, and I was so amazed by everything that I just decided I didn't want to take the public transport. I just wanted to walk to the office by foot to just enjoy and absorb everything around me. I was like a happy child on Christmas who just got her favorite toy as a gift. I wanted to feel how it was to walk in the snow and to hear the noise, the sensation, and I wanted to get the snow with my hands and see how it felt. And so I did it. Sadly, the snow layer only lasts for one day. The other days, they started to throw salt and the snow was just melting. I know it's dangerous for people who are driving cars, but I felt a little sad that they were destroying the snow because I would rather have the snow outside so I could play with it and I could enjoy it. So that's it. November was about to end, and I finally went to meet my first landlord in Luxembourg, get the keys, and prepared to move to the studio I rented. A new friend of mine gave me a ride to IKEA in Belgium to buy a few things, and I proved the famous meatballs. I started packing and oh my god, I had so many things. I know I arrived here with just 3 suitcases, but as I started working, I had to start buying clothes because it was getting colder. And when I realized I had so much more than just 3 suitcases, and this very good friend, she gave me a ride. Otherwise, I would have to do like 2, 3 trips to bring everything to the new place because it was too much. Even though I started my day very early to start packing and preparing everything, after going to our IKEA and bringing all my things to the studio, I still had much to do. I had to unpack a few things and I had to buy groceries because I didn't have anything to eat and I didn't have cleaning products or anything else. So I went to bed pretty late that day. I am finally done with all the movings. I am happy that I have my own place now. I know I will miss the previous house because I really enjoyed the view and I enjoyed being surrounded by quietness and green and gardens and trees. But I knew it was temporary, and now I finally have my own place where I don't intend to move so soon, and that I can start preparing to be my home, and I can start preparing for the best time of the year, Christmas.